I love. So welcome to Rambles, Rants, Reviews episode 1.5. I don't know. So I wanted to highly recommend Jam Mechanics. It is an amazing podcast, and I could talk about how the two artists on it, Bug Hunter and the Narcissist Cookbook, are amazing talking together, amazing at creating new demos every other week. And by that I mean every week, every other week, when the season's in session. um, and anyway, they've are in progress to having made 40 new demos each. I'd say recording wise, they are probably at like 38 each, which is a lot. And the amount of high quality demos that they have put out with only getting like 3 hours to record. Um, well, basically, go from prompt to idea to recording said demo in 3 hours is amazing. I highly recommend them, and I highly recommend their podcast. But rather than talk about all of the songs that I love, because I don't have time for that. Nobody wants me to just be like, everything is amazing. Here is this song, this song, this song, this song, this song. This is how this song. I mean, we could do that. But again, like, I should be going into just how flipping good beach piano is for like 30 minutes, which makes there not a whole lot of room for all of the other songs that I like, if not as much, a whole lot. Anyway, um, yeah. So instead of actually talking about any of the stuff that they made, other than just saying, "Hey, it's really good. You should get this on your podcast platform." No ads on their thing. It is just for you know kind of awareness of them, if anything. And then if you want to go on Bandcamp, or I think they have a site as well that probably is better for them. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Um, yeah, I'll probably include in the comments. Comments, description. YouTube is hard. Anyway, so instead of actually talking about that, what I did was I went on the Discord, and right now, the prompts for this season are all Wikipedia inspired. So like in the first season, they did a prompt. They both did a prompt for one of their songs that turned out really, really good and has been fully released. Um, that was just them going on to Wikipedia, doing the the Wikipedia roulette, and here's this page. Write a song about it. So for this season, they kind of did that, except basically Bug would do that with random page. They both start from the same random page, and then Bug would click one link, and then click one more link, and then that would be the prompt that they would give Matt, which is the Narcissist Cookbook. And then Matt would do the same thing. So going to the Meatloaf song that they both started on, which no one remembers what the Meatloaf song is, um, which is sad. Anyway, then he would click um, a link and then click another link, and then that would be Bug's prompt. So I went to the Discord, I asked for a prompt, and I got the Wikipedia page for declassification, which is interesting. And so essentially, what Bug or Matt would do is once they get the prompt, then they have 3 hours to come up with what can I make from this, what is my vibe, what is a story that I already want to be telling that I could use this as a jumping off point for, and then how do I do that. So I'm like, well, the first thing I can think of is MKUltra, because Courtney, insert live version where uh Matt gets thrown off by people saying the person's name during the live because he was going to try to change it, and then it goes into how he tried to pick the most off the wall conspiracy username, and then, hey, guess what, this is something that the American government actually did when they were a comic book villain. Are they not still a comic book villain? I don't know. Anyway, um but then I'm like, I don't know anything about MKUltra, and I think there's enough information out there that like it's a whole lot. So instead, I did a little bit more of a wiki dive into like one like specific thing that I could talk about. And then I'm like, well, how I don't want to talk about the government being just absolutely crazy, because it's been done and someone can do it better than me. But instead, I want to talk about how um, you can do better than the government by having healthy relationships. Which is a weird stretch, but again, it would be something that I could talk about and would want to talk about. And yeah, difference is I'm not a professional and I am not good at creating music. So weird video essay blog rant review thing. um so what I kind of looked up and kind of dug into was Operation Ocean Sea Spray, which essentially government's like, hey, we have concerns that it's like Cold War time. We have concerns that somebody could just drop anthrax off the coast and kill like this whole seaboard city. Um, is that something that could happen? How could we test that? How could we figure out how to protect ourselves from that? So without consulting, anybody in San Francisco, they decide, hey, let's throw a whole bunch of bacteria off a boat, and see if that spreads throughout San Francisco. They tested it; it did. Um, and they definitely used a bacteria that they thought was harmless, and reportedly there wasn't that many medical issues at the time, except in a few hospitals where people died because they were getting surgery and they were susceptible, and maybe it's related, maybe it's not. They didn't lose the lawsuit once it became public knowledge. Anyway, but essentially, government had a legitimate concern, right? They want to keep people safe. Um, which, sometimes in your relationship, you may have a legitimate concern. And, you know, you then act upon it without telling your partner. And it's not great. Be better than the government. If you want to test this, maybe contact doctors and scientists and be like, hey, here's this concern that we have, how could we safely test this, so that we can prevent this from happening, by somebody we don't want it to do it. And to a little bit point, the MK Ultra is essentially the same. Is it possible for other parties to hypnotize and learn all of our secrets? And can we do that to their agents to get information? I mean, is there a world where both things were done, not out of um, wanting to control people and destroy things? Maybe. Like, there's some things there that could be positive. Execution, though, not great. Consent is super important. Um, if you're going to perform human experimentation, they need to sign something freely. They need to be aware of the risk. That needs to be explicit. They can be able to change their mind. Um, Government did not do any of these things. Do this with the people that you care about. Um, anyway, so that is my example of how they do it, except so much better. um, Bugs song, I think very first episode, it was about a mayor in Italy, I think. And it is amazing. And he just had a couple paragraphs in this Wikipedia page, and he went into so much detail about kind of the human experience and um kind of leadership, and I don't know. It's really good. Wasn't good enough to get Francesco reelected when he ran for mayor again. So, you know. But it was really good. I think it's probably less that it was that good and more that he didn't use it as his mayor statement. Possibly because, most of his constituents would probably prefer to have marketing in Italian. I don't know. Don't know. I act like I know things. Anyway, so yeah, you should check out Jam Mechanics on your preferred podcast platform. I mostly lately watch it on YouTube, which is listen to it on YouTube. They don't really have videos. Every once in a while, Bug will put up shorts from like little funny clips that they cut out of the episodes because they do like video recording, but they don't try to match it up because editing is a pain. Anyway, but yeah, and then every week if you really get into it, they do like a live listen along, and again every other week when the season's current. But again, they're on season 4 and it's active right now, which means that you have approximately 80 songs to listen to if you like Bug Hunter and the Narcissist Cookbook that you may not have listened to yet. And I cannot recommend it highly enough. Um, anyway, all the lives.